And if you're one of them, good morning and welcome back to my channel, Bat Wings and all. Now, I've had a few comments. I'm guessing they're off new subscribers. If you are new here, I've had quite a few over the last 8 weeks or so. Welcome to this shit show. Thanks for coming over. Don't forget to go check out Pews on Tour as well. Now, not nasty comments, but I've had a few comments of people saying about my weight loss, and I had a few. We feel like you're honest, Trisha. Why don't you just tell everybody that maybe you're taking Monjaro and that's why I'm gluten and dairy free? So I just wanted to clear a few things up. Anybody who's been here for longer than any amount of time whatsoever knows I'm on Monjaro. So I thought I'd have a discussion with you about my weight loss journey, because it hasn't only been a year. I've got a pen and paper, that's why I've got my reading goggles on. So I had and the one bit your comments in the slightest. There was people like, oh, we feel you can be honest with us. So anybody who's been in for a while knows last February I was put on Monjaro for my diabetes, because I'm going to explain the whole story and you'll get it. So and also I just want to clear up, if you inject Monjaro, it doesn't stop you from eating gluten and dairy, because I've been on Monjaro since February last year and I still like gluten and dairy and I was fine with it. Anyway, well, I wasn't fine with it, obviously, because it was doing things to my stomach it shouldn't have been. I digress. So we're going to talk about my weight loss in general. And it's not been a slow process, fast process, should I say. So my biggest weight I weighed was 31 stone and 4 pounds was at my heaviest. And that was at about, I'd say 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Now, so what I did Slimming World originally to start with. And I didn't mind that, because it sort of taught you how to eat healthier. I used a lot of, everything was bathed in oil. Then I jumped to fry lighter butter, 30%. I didn't mind Slimming World. It was fine. And I did actually lose, I've wrote down in here, because I was checking in my diaries because I write everything down. So I wanted to be exact. So I did Slimming World for 4 years. And I went from 31 stone, 4 pound, and I flitted between 21 and 22 stone. That's where I was stalemated at. So I did it for 4 years, and it did take me 4 years to lose that almost 10 stone. But I just couldn't get below that 21 stone. I never put it back on. Once 10 years ago, I consciously said, listen, I'm going to be healthier. I couldn't walk upstairs, 31 stone. I was having an asthma attack going for a piss. So I'd lost my mum. It was just a bit of everything. So I just consciously 10 years ago said I'm going to lose some weight. And I did. And it took me, I did Slimming World for 4 years, and it took me 4 years to lose 10 stone, naturally. And then when I was stalemated, because I've gone on up to my diaries, you see. So then it was 4 years I was stalemated at. So I didn't put any, I flitted between 21 and 22, didn't put any on. Didn't go over the 22, but I also still didn't lose any. So I was still weighing 22 stone. Then last February, when I had my HbC, and it's normally end of January, beginning of February, it'll be the same this year, I have my HbC1A levels checked, because I'm also type 2 diabetic. And I was borderline for needing to go on insulin. And I don't really want to do that, because once you do that, you're on it for life. Now, all my mum, there was my mum, my Uncle Philip, my Uncle Simon. My mum had at least 4 siblings, I think. I don't know if my Uncle Paul does. Anyway, a lot of my mum's siblings are type 2 diabetic but injected insulin. My Uncle Philip definitely is. He just got back in touch with me. How bizarre was that? Messaged me and Mark Casey, I think it was the day before New Year's Eve. I ain't heard from him in about 10 years. Anyway, I digress. So, they checked my HbC1 levels, and because I was borderline, they said, we're going to start you on Monjaro. Now, at the time, last February, when the endocrinologist said to me, we're going to start you on Monjaro, straight away my mum was like, oh, listen, I've been actively trying to lose weight for a long time. I know I'm stuck and I've not been going any lower, but I don't do fad diets, because I just worry that if you stop doing them, you're going to put them back on. And that's when I learned it's actually a diabetic treatment, which I didn't know. So they started me off on 2.5 mil. I do take 15, and now I take 15 mil of Monjaro. I take it every 10 days. And then every 6 weeks, I have a 1 week break. So you go like 2 weeks without injecting it. Why, I don't know, but that's how I do it. I think it's different when you buy it to inject it to lose weight. I think you do it every 10 days, 7 days. I don't know. I would never advise it unless you speak to a doctor first, because when I get my new prescription, they do my blood pressure checks, they do my heart rate, my BP, stuff like that, before I get my new pen. So that's why I was stalemated for a little bit, because I couldn't go anywhere, because they won't give me longer than a month's worth. They give me 3 months worth at a time now anyway. So when I went on the Monjaro last February, my weight dropped from, I was stuck between the 21, 22, like I told you, and I dropped to 18 stone, 5 pound. That's what I was November. So I did lose weight with it, but not drastically like everybody else does. But like I've said, I took it for different reasons. And I just wanted to prove to you. So I have scribbled out my address, Scar Off Don't Cry, and my NHS number thing. So, Miss Patricia Pugh. Although, do you know what I discovered today? Even though I've been married for coming on 22 years, we've been together nearly 30. Miss, it's still, the doctors have still got me as Miss Patricia Pugh. What's that about? Anyway. So, Miss Patricia Pugh, this is my Monjaro that I get. It is on prescription. That's why I was showing you that. Look, I've made sure I crossed everything out. So, because I was asked, I'll be honest. So, I take this Monjaro. What else did I put on here? Now, so between February and November, I came off. Where's my list of medication that I come off? Yes. So I came off dapagliflozin, which is what I also took for my thing. I had a water retention tablet. I also no longer take that. And I stopped taking warfarin to help with my blood pressure. The Monjaro meant that's 3 other medications straight away that I can take. So right now, I just take this Monjaro for my diabetes prescription. And I take, I've scribbled on this as well. That's on my prescription. That's my metformin. That's the only other thing I take. These are quite a high dosage, but I do believe they're hoping to lower these this time. So this is the highest dose you can have. So I have 850 milligram twice a day. So I have 1700 of that. But I'm off everything else other than them 2 for diabetic treatment. Now I do take, well, we're being honest, I take Keppra. It's called Keppra, but the technical name for it is levatiracetam. Now, this is to help with my seizures and my face tics from my brain tumour. Genuinely, since I've cut out the gluten, I've had no face tics. It's gluten and dairy I've cut out. I've had no face tics. The sun's not bothered my eyes. Anything. So I've lowered these off my own back. I was taking 1 twice a day. What milligram, Anna? The 1 gram. It's a 1 gram. So is that 1,000 milligram? I don't know. It's 1 gram tablet. It's massive, I'll show you. It's like an horse tablet. So I take one of them twice a day. But because I have been feeling better and I've had no face tics and anything, I have actually dropped them to 1 a day. So I only did it about 4 days ago. So I can always, the thing with these is, if I have a seizure, this kicks in about 25 minutes. So I thought, what arm's it going to try? If I feel a bit shaky, I've had no shaking either since I cut out the gluten. Anyway, and now, so when I went in November, when I decided I was cutting out gluten-free, what I'd done is, they called me back in and they did my HbC1 levels after 6 months, because I'd been on, they normally do your HbC1A levels every 12 months when you're type 2 diabetic. They did it after 6 months because I think they did it about 3 times last year, because I was checking to make sure the Monjaro was bringing it down. Because there's no point I'm keeping me on it if it's not helping me HbC1A level. I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, so they checked that in November and they called me back in because although it'd come down a bit, it has come down. She was concerned that I'd lost weight, but I'd only gone from 22 to 18.5 stone, and it's been like 7 months, 8 months, whatever it is. I know a lot of people have drastic weight loss with it. I didn't. Fad diets don't work for me, like I've told you. So that's when she did some bloods to do some intolerances, because I am allergic to latex, micropore tape, gold. There's a few things. I've got allergies for a few things. Not medically wise at the moment. Not that affects me day to day anyway. So she said, we're going to send you for an ultrasound just to have a look at your intestines and your stomach. And that's what they did. And that's when they came back and said, because her worry was, although I was losing weight, I still had quite a big, go watch the older videos. I look 10 months pregnant all the time. So after I'd had the scan, they said to me my intestines were 3 times the size they should be. And the blood results came. I got on the same day. I was in the hospital for about 4 hours that day. And she said the intestines were 3 times the size they were. The blood results were showing that I don't process certain foods properly. So she said to me she wanted me to cut out all gluten, all dairy, just cold turkey it. Because the worry was, I've always had problems pooping anyway. I poop like a rabbit. I did. I was traumatised the first time I cut gluten out and I had a big poop. I'm not even kidding you. I felt like I was on the toilet sweating, texting the kids, crying. So she says to me, cut it out cold turkey. And that's the reason I've had to come off caffeine as well, guys, because she said to me, I want you to cut out gluten, cut out dairy, totally cold turkey. Because you're going to cold turkey and it's going to be a big change for your body. I want you to also cut out caffeine because caffeine can make you want to poop more anyway. So she wanted my body to regulate, and that's why I had decaf coffee and I do have decaf tea bags. Now, so from November, I was 18 stone 5. When I got weighed the other day, I was 16.10. So I've almost lost another 2 stone in 2 months. The amount of people that have messaged and says, just admit Gareth's taking Monjaro. Gareth's not taking my Monjaro, right? It's for my diabetic treatment. And not just people who want to take Monjaro to lose weight, go for gold. If it makes you feel better and you can afford it, you do it. I'm not paying £300 a month because I'm not. It's a crazy amount of money. So, and I've had a few people message because they've seen me when I've opened the fridge. Remember, I'm away for a few months, so that's all my diabetic treatment. No, you can't buy my pens. That's called dealing. We don't do that over here. Anyway, so I have lost actually it's been about 9 weeks. Yeah, let me work the dates. 9 weeks. Reading off my bit of paper. So in 9 weeks, I've lost pretty much by cutting gluten and dairy out. Give it a couple more weeks and I'll be at the same amount I've lost. For 7 months on Monjaro. So Monjaro does work, but it doesn't work for everybody. That makes sense. I know some people who've taken it and got really sick with it. I know some people have messaged me and said the hair's falling out and it's thinned the hair. I haven't thinned my hair, mate. Look at the state of that. I've got a ginger fro going on. So I just thought I'd be honest and open and say, yes, I am on Monjaro, but not for that reason. So like I said, I take it every 10 days and I've got my metformin and I've got my Keppra. Now, well, you have to keep this in the fridge, so I'm going to call off in a minute and let you all know and say thank you. Thank you for listening to my weight loss journey anyway. I just wanted to explain for them that had not been here. And hello to all my new subscribers. And listen, don't be coming with them at the hate in the comments. It was people just genuinely asking. So I'm just I tend to answer everything because life's life, innit? And I don't see point in fibbing and lying and stuff like that. But also, look at that. I've been doing exercises for 4 days and look at the size of them, the massive... You can hear them. You hear that? They're huge. But I give it a go, innit? If it don't work, it don't work. I hope you all have a lovely day. I'm going to pub later, I do believe. Not drinking, I don't think, myself today. We'll see. I might have a glass of wine. But Gareth's made arrangements to go meet lots of people, so I'm going to go and enjoy and socialise. I don't need a bit to socialise anyway. I do need a hairdresser's. I'm looking like Jim Carrey. You are all correct. I do love you all though. See you later, bye.